So I'd like to welcome everyone, all the 15 students of Goa University, as well as the two professors to our monastery, Drepung Loseling Monastic University. And as you all know, so this is the first exchange program and the implementation of it that we are having since we had the Memorandum of Understanding with your university this year in January. So today, we'd like to begin with a session of meditation. And so I'd like to first explain why meditation is so much important and relevant in our everyday lives. Because as you all know that we have such a hectic schedule in our daily lives, everything to do with studies, work, family, and so on. So in order for us to have that peace of mind or the tranquility of the mind, meditation is considered to be like an antidote for that. And so when we talk about meditation, right, meditation, or should we say samadhi meditation, so in Tibetan, the actual word means gom, which could be literally translated into habituation, like to habituate or to familiarize. So the whole concept of meditation is based on that, to familiarize with something, to habituate with it. And the problem lies in the everyday world that the things we do in life is not actually what is considered to be habituate. We do things randomly, different kind of things. And in that, we take different kinds of negative energies and so forth. So what we try to do when we meditate is, we try to accumulate these positive energies in our everyday lives. And we try to familiarize with them. So in this sense, so meditation, doesn't, it doesn't mean that we are doing something with the body. It has everything to do with the mind. Because as we all know, the mind is the most powerful tool in our body, like that we possess. So the mind is the most powerful tool. Our actions, everything we do, every decisions we make are all controlled by the mind, So the goal of meditation is so that we can control this very powerful element, which plays a very vital role in our everyday lives. So in order to do that, we must know about what actually is meditation and what are the aspects of meditation. So meditation is actually divided into two categories, known as the placement meditation, the fixated placement meditation. That means, for instance, if you look at a cup, or if you look at something like a bird or a tree, and you just fixate your concentration on that particular object, that is fixated placement meditation. And there is also a type of meditation which we call the analytical meditation. We analyze things like what is the origin of the world? What is the origin of ourselves? right? Where did we come from? So all these questions, these related queries, the meditation related to these queries are known as the analytical meditation, where we analyze. So these two meditation encompass every forms and every types of meditation there is. There is not a single meditation which is not included in these two type of meditations. So let me repeat again, the fixated placement meditation, because placement usually means you are placing something, right? Your mind on something. Fixated means you're fixing that mind on that particular object. So that is why it is known as the fixated placement meditation. And the other form is the analytical meditation, where you analyze things. So the definition of the fixated placement meditation is that you are concentrating on that object and that object only. Your mind is unwavering, doesn't wander off to other forms of object. If you are thinking of a cup, you should think of a cup, not of a bird or a tree, because that will lead your mind to wander off to another object. So that is why this meditation is known as the fixated placement meditation, or in short form, placement meditation. And the other type of meditation is the analytical meditation, where we analyze things. And in that meditation, there is actually no placement on a particular specified object. So we just try to analyze, so we set a goal, there's a question, there's a query, and to answer that, we see it from all aspects, from all perspectives. And when we do that, we get closer to finding out what is actually the answer to that query. So that is known as the analytical meditation, where usually we say something, what is that? Then we analyze that thing, or we examine that thing. So analytical meditation is based on that. So from the ancient Indian Nalanda tradition, these two meditation has a very big impact and emphasis. And so what is the goal? What is the goal of meditating on this, of the placement, meditation, or the fixated placement meditation? So the goal to practice this fixated meditation is to enhance our power of concentration. And in other words, the achievement is known as serenity, or in Sanskrit is known as Schemata Meditation, Schemata. And the analytical meditation, where we analyze things, analyze nature of reality, whatever it is. The goal of achieving that is also known as vipassana in Sanskrit, or insight in English. So these two things, serenity and insight, is the goal of our practicing the placement meditation and the analytical meditation. So in order to do that, first we have to know how to meditate, right? How to meditate. And so meditation involves a lot of factors. So you need a quiet place like this, for instance. You cannot meditate in traffic, in the middle of a traffic or something, in a car. That would be very difficult. Of course, you can do analytical meditation, but the placement meditation would be very difficult, especially for a beginner. So to do that, you need a very peaceful place, a place where there is no distractions, sounds, which may distract you from the meditation. And also, a place where there is where you have no fear, where you feel at peace, where you feel calm, where you feel that it's the time where your mind settles down. So that is very crucial. And about the body language, or how your body, the form of the meditation, the physical form should be that. So usually, it is from the Nalinda tradition, right from the Buddha. The Buddha, as you can see, stayed in the perfect lotus position, as is known, with the legs crossed. So as I can see right now, most of you are staying in the half lotus position, which is also feasible. This is known as a half lotus position so the reason to do that is, the reason that we stay in that position is that this position is believed to enable us to achieve the body fluency, as it's called, fluency. So fluency is actually like a state that you can achieve, it's almost like a state where your body is very much easy, and it is able to do things according to your will, almost like a flexibility, right? So that is the reason that you do that. So this is like staying in the lotus position. And then the most important thing is for your back or your spine to be straight. Because if the spine is not straight, if the spine is bent down, then you may face the difficulty of falling asleep. So that is the reason. And also, if your spine is crooked or bent, then it gives rise to laxity or lethargy, which is a hindrance to meditation. So actually, when we sit down and try to meditate, the reason that we fall asleep, or the cause for that, is known as laxity. So laxity is again a mind which makes us fall asleep, makes us drowsy. So keeping our spine straight helps us refrain, from generating laxity. So that is an important part. And the other important part to do with the body form, is that so your eyes must not look there and here and there. So your eyes should be fixed. Usually it's known that you have to fix it on the tip of your nose, right? But of course that might be difficult, and some people might even have a headache doing that. So for that purpose, you can look about 1 or 2 meters, and directly in front of you, and just fix your gaze on that particular spot. And your neck should be a little bit bent down in that sense, because you cannot look like this. So your neck should be bent a little bit, drooped, or is the word used, a little bit down. And also your tongue, your mouth should just be settled. You cannot. It should not be like widely opened. It should like remain as it is, like neutral form. And your tongue should actually touch the palate, which is behind your front teeth, because that enables us to not generate more, create more saliva, so that if you try to it'll be difficult for you. So that's why if you touch your tongue on that palate, then it will refrain from creating more saliva. Your body will not create as much saliva. So, and your hands actually should be in this position. So the right over the left. So this is actually known as the meditative symbol. Or it could also be like this, like your palms facing downwards. It's up to you. Your breathing should be normal. It shouldn't be forced, not like you're doing a breathing asana or something. So it should be perfectly as it is, like perfect free flow, spontaneous breathing. So that is very much important. And so this is the part, the body, the part of the bodily form of the meditation. So, and after that, so to talk about the actual process of the Schemata meditation, or the placement meditation is that you could either focus on your breath, or it could be a tangible object, like object that you can see, like it could be a picture or a statue or anything with form. Something that you think that you can be familiarized with. It can even be your mother or your father. That is also, feasible. And so there are two excursions of meditation. So the two excursions actually prevent us from having flawless concentration. And the two excursions are known as excitement and laxity. So please keep that in mind, excitement and laxity. So what excitement does is, so when we sit down to meditate, what happens is that immediately our mind tries to wander off, also known as the monkey mind. It tries to wander off. It could think about moments from the past, or it could go down to the future. Think about what you're going to do tomorrow, what I'm going to do after this session, and all this stuff, and what you have to do afterwards. Or it could also be a form of excitement or a form of wavering, distraction, which is happening in this particular moment. Like you're thinking about the sounds of the birds outside, you're thinking about the water, flowing, like the rain, or whatever it is. So this is actually known as excitement. Excitement distracts you. It distracts you from keeping your mind on a particular object, on one particular object. So excitement is one of the main excursion to achieve flawless concentration or meditation. And the second excursion is known as laxity. So laxity is the mind which it creates or makes you drowsy, makes you not attentive. So these two are very much vital, These two, it is very much vital to prevent these two from coming to your mind, appearing in your mind, if you want to have a flawless concentration. And the antidote to these two is that, so for excitement, you have to quell it with mindfulness. So the antidote to excitement is mindfulness. And the antidote to laxity is vigilance. So mindfulness and vigilance are the two very, very important factors when it comes to meditating on concentration or flawless concentration or placement meditation. So these two are very, very important factors, because if you practice mindfulness, so mindfulness is keeping that object in mind, trying to keep it as long as possible as you can, trying to continue that stream of thought. That is known as mindfulness. So if you are able to continue that stream of thought, if you are able to think of the same object over and over again in a continuum, like a stream, then excitement will just diminish. It will not be able to get inside your mind. Similarly, vigilance is also one very important factor, because usually what makes us sleepy, it's like inattentiveness, right? If you have attention, then you will not fall asleep. But when you lack attention, when someone is teaching you a very, very difficult math formula or something, right? Then, and this is so much like, you are not able to generate that much attention to what this person is saying, then you will get drowsy, you will fall asleep gradually, you will feel sleepy. So in order to quell that, inattentiveness, then what you need is vigilance. For instance, when you're meditating and you are actually thinking of a particular object, for instance, if it's like a statue, you're thinking of that statue, and you are able to put your mind on it. But still, what happens is a form of inattentiveness, or also known as laxity, comes in. And that leads to you from keeping your mind on that object. You slowly, what happens is your attention just diminishes. And that leads also to distracting your mind, and you fall asleep, or you feel sleepy, and you are no longer interested in prolonging that experience or that meditation. So it is very much important to know about these two things. Vigilance is very important. So when you are meditating on the particular object, vigilance is like also known as the watchman, because when you're looking at the object, the vigilance makes sure that the object appears vividly. Because the main reason that you feel drowsy or laxative is because the object of meditation is not vivid enough for you. It is not vivid enough. It is not clear enough. It lacks clarity. So to obtain that clarity, we need vigilance. So if the object of meditation is not clear, then immediately we make it clear. We try to make it clear. So that refrains us from having laxity. And if something in your mind is very much clear, then you will not feel drowsy, or you will not feel that inattentiveness from it. You will be very much attentive to that. So that is the very two forms of meditation. And with these two, the mindfulness and vigilance, then you are able to prolong your meditation, create a meditation which is flawless. And by doing that, of course, there are many goals, like speaking from a religious perspective. Meditation is very vital to achieving like nirvana, or achieving enlightenment, or moksha. So meditation has always been a culture of ancient India. Different religions, the ancient Indian thoughts had an aspect of meditation in it. There was a goal, and to achieve that goal, meditation played a very key, vital part in it. And this has continued up till now. And in the Nalanda tradition too, meditation is very much vital. And not only from the religious perspective, if we talk about the modern society right now, and from an individual point of view too, meditation is very much important, because in these very turbulent times, we don't have much time to really experience our mind ourselves. All our attention is flowed outwardly, but we don't experience much, experience with the real inner experience. We don't get that much. And meditation is the perfect way to do that, because it actually familiarizes yourself with your own mind, Because as I said before, you don't necessarily need an object. It can even be your own mind. You can just look at your own mind, because usually you don't do that, right? You don't do that. You don't look at your own mind. You don't look. You just feel things, you just get angry, you just, feel attached to something. You just feel these emotions. You just feel this emotion as if the emotion is creating that self for you. So during meditation, you have the opportunity to look at your own mind, to familiarize yourself with your own mind. And as you know, that the closest thing that you yourself relate to as you is actually your mind. The closest thing that you relate to as yourself is your own mind, because that plays a huge part. Of course, your body also does play, your health also, but the very vital thing that everything like decision making, or anything in fact, like emotional things, everything is related, correlated, some way or other with your mind. So in that regard, let us try to, I think the time is also right to meditate. So we have, I think, around 12 minutes to meditate. So according to your own liking, you can either meditate on your mind, or you can watch your breath. Just watch your breath as it flows in and out, the breath that it flows. I'm sure you must have read the reading material on it. And so I'm not actually, going directly to the reading material. I'm just making it, elusive, so that it may be easier for everyone to understand, not just by textbooks, but whatever you desire, because you need to feel comfortable with the meditation you're doing. It doesn't have to be something fixed. So whatever you are comfortable with, whatever your disposition is. So according to that, if it's form, either some kind of form, or if it's your own breath, or even if it's your own mind. So let us just try to meditate on it for roughly 11 minutes now. Okay. Thank you, everyone. So we will conclude this meditation session.